Shall I?
Yes, I can.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, it's live now. You can start.
Theruvan Saranai. We would like to welcome everyone from all over the world. This program is organized by the Arya Dhamma Meditation Group, which is a registered charity in UK. The program will be available on YouTube as Revealing the Real Buddhism, Season 1, Episode 8. We've had these programs for the past few months, and the previous episodes can be viewed on YouTube. Today's program will be a continuation from episode 7, and we will be having a Q&A session after the main sermon, and also a meditation session. We encourage you to join via Zoom, as it gives you an opportunity to raise questions to Thero. You could also raise questions via the chat function on Zoom, and also raise questions on YouTube. I will now invite Thero Abhaya to this platform. Theruvan Saranai Hamudarane. First of all, we would like to appreciate the effort and time you have dedicated to help us understand the teachings of Lord Buddha. As gratitude, we would like to bless Thero good health and a long life for his Dhammadana exercise. I would now like to invite Thero to commence today's Dhamma discussion. Theruvan Saranai.
Welcome for all the devotees and Dhamma friends. On behalf of Nirapeksha Temga, I would like to thank Arya Dhamma Meditation Group in UK about this organizing of this kind of very valuable event to discuss for the English-speaking community in the world. So up to now, we have explained a lot of dasana pahatabba, that means what we have to listen and understand. There are some major themes. Those are we have to listen what Lord Buddha understood under the Bo tree, and what is Four Noble Truths, what's Patissamuppada. We explain some amount, and we did some Q&A and even meditation. Today, this is the our another one session. After the explanation of our Dhamma explanation, you can ask some question from and any detailed explanation. So now we can start the sermon.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the English translation service. Theruvan Saranai, Kalyana Mitra friends. As the host informed you, there's a small change to the way we conduct the program today. Initially, there'll be a summary of what we have learned for the last few sessions, and followed by the Q&A. And finally, we will end with a Karmasthana session. After this program today, there'll be a pause, as Abhaya Thero is of the opinion it's probably better to conduct an English retreat and then restart our Sunday programs again. And therefore, I'm sure the Arya Dhamma English UK meditation group will inform you in the near future what the plan would be. So we've already learned about our 5, or including the mind, the 6 senses, which will give you your 5 aggregates in each, which means in the Pali term, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vinyana. And this is termed Panchaskandha, and we learned that. So because of our greed or raga, dvesha, moha, that means our greed, our hatred, or our delusion, we form laminations on top of those sensory inputs, thinking that we can proceed that way. So this is what we learned, or this bonding or this attachment through Paticcasamuppada is what we learned. And that is happening because of Pancha Upadana Skandha that we have learned as well. So the reasons this is Pancha Upadana Skandha is the ultimate thing that leads to Arya Dukkha, that means the truth of suffering. So to get rid of truth of suffering, we'll have to understand all laminations are anicca, dukkha, anatta, that means insatiable. It causes suffering and worthless or valueless. This is what we've been trying to do. So the dukkha has three types. That's viparinama dukkha. This is the vipaka resulting from moral actions of the past, of pleasurable experiences with added lustful laminations. Then we have dukkha dukkha. This is vipaka, means the results, resulting from immoral actions of the past, that's akusala kamma, of unpleasurable experiences with added hateful laminations. Then we have sankhara dukkha. This is vipaka resulting from non-moral, non-immoral actions of the past, of neutral experiences with added delusional laminations. So with our consciousness, with our understanding, with our learning of the Four Noble Truths, we can only get rid of dukkha resulting from lustful, hateful, or delusional laminations. So that is the way that we are proposing how we should get rid of suffering.
To understand this Four Noble Truths, this is really a dukkha arya satya, but what we have to understand, what is nibbana. There are some lot of definition for nibbana. Main definition is ragakyo nibbana, desakyo nibbana, mohakyo nibbana. The meaning of this thing is, with the raga, if you are not attaching to the world, if you are dvesha, if you are not attaching to the world, with the moha, if you are not attaching to the world, then it is called nibbana. Then vice versa, we can take the other way side. Then what's a world? World means raga, desha, moha. If you are absence of raga, desha and moha, then it's called nibbana. Then if you have some raga, desha, moha, lustful, hateful, delusion, then it's called world. World mean pancha upadana skandha. All the kleshas are created by lustful, hateful, delusional thought. So in this chapter, we are going to explain that from how this lust, hate and delusion create the dukkha arya satya. Then from the lustful lamination, for lust create on top of the pleasurable feeling. As a return, that means vipaka, as a return of vipaka, when we are looking something, hearing something, smelling and tasting and touch something, we may feel some return, happy, pleasurable feeling. It comes first. There are no in lust, hate or delusion, this radiant mind. But it is there because after become a arahat also, there are some pleasurable, unpleasurable and neutral feelings are there, vedana is there. So if someone feel the pleasurable feeling, then if you are not become arahat, then you can attach with lustfully. Then on top of the pleasurable feeling, if you attach with lustfully, then that type of laminated klesha is called as the viparinama dukkha. Then brilliant, radiant mind, the radiant mind, it doesn't have any impurities. That's a pure mind. That pure mind is viparinama. The word viparinama means it is little by little it is going to worse side. That means you are creating the dirty mind. So at first it's a pure mind, is becoming dirty. That means gradually increasing the amount of dirty. That's called viparinama. That means change is toward the worst side, bad side. So then it is called viparinama dukkha. So dukkha means it is due to hateful thought. So the hate is developed on top of the painful, that means unpleasurable feeling. So as a return, in some case, because we have done a lot of immoral action in past, and due to a return, that vipaka dukkha, that means first come unpleasurable feeling. So on top of the unpleasurable feeling, you are attached with hatefully. Then it is called, it is create the lamination part on top of the unpleasurable feeling. That also some unpleasurable feeling. There are two type of unpleasurable feeling. One is return, other is laminated one, and is called dukkha. The first dukkha, vipaka also dukkha, laminated parts also dukkha, two dukkha, that's called. So from this dukkha, if you cease the hateful thought, your dukkha will totally cease. So that's how get rid of this dukkha. Sankara dukkha is, we have done some non-moral and non-immoral action in past, and due to that we have feeling them not pleasurable. That's called neutral feelings. When the neutral feelings come through a vision, hearing, smell, taste or body, then we can attach it, delusionally attach. Mainly this attachment due to some egoistic ego. With ego, I have done something, I am the person, ego. With the ego based attachment, another thing is in some cases due to a neutral feeling, you are attaching with the suspiciously attached. So these two type is therefore the sankara dukkha. If you cease this really lustful, hateful, delusional thought and attachment, then you can get rid of all these three suffering. These three suffering together is called as a dukkha or satya. This is a dukkha or satya. We can cease these three type of sufferings.
So we have learned about the sensations, which could be of different feelings, like you will feel sad, you will indifferent, you might be happy, you'll be worried about things, and so on. So whatever the expressions you get from the sensations, these sensations will go to the mind. So when you get these sensations into your mind, that leads to thoughts. Now the thoughts are the ones that creates actions. So it could be, you might have some attraction to it, or you might have a hatred to it. Sometimes you might have an attraction that eventually becomes a hate because you couldn't complete or you couldn't satisfy yourself. So whatever the way, so the thoughts actually leads to different kinds of actions. And when it comes to kind of hate-related actions, then we talked about the kind of extreme immoral actions, and we mentioned 10 immoral actions, and these are killing, that is panatipata, adinnadan, that's taking what is not given. Then kamesumicchachara, sexual misconduct, musavada, lying, pisanavacha, slandering, parushavacha, harsh speech, sammapraplapa, frivolous talk. Abhija, greed for others' belongings. Vyapada, ill-will, hatred. And michaditi, that's wrong views. So these 10 immoral actions. Now let's see this bit more about these 10 immoral actions. So we talked about the sensations, and you have the sensory inputs. And your mind, it goes to your thoughts. Now the thoughts leads to actions. So let's focus on the 10 immoral actions. Now we are worried about these 10 immoral actions. So these things actually results from, in summary, because of klesha karma. Now klesha karma results from any activity that results from abhisankara, or results from raga, dvesha, moha. That means your greed or hatred or egoistic attachment. So you can have klesha karma. Or on top of that, you might have what is called vastu karma. That's your materialistic greed. Like, you like your car, you like your home, you like whatever. So you have kind of my kind of feeling for various materialistic things. So those two things are the main things that actually contribute to this eventually. So this is actually the result of these. This is the result of klesha karma and vastu karma. So what we are taught in general, or what we've learned, is stop the result by fear or rule, and that is the laukika pathway, which means you sometimes have 5, 8, or 10 precepts. In other words, you call it pansil, atasil, dasasil, or you want to avoid reincarnation in the hell. So you want to stop this because of a rule or fear. And that's one way of doing it, and that's laukika. In Aryama pathway, what is being done is to stop this happening by understanding. So that's the Lokottara pathway. And this means you have to understand your Four Noble Truths, and then you understand your anicca, dukkha, anatta. That means the insatiability and the suffering and the worthlessness. And when you understand this, automatically you will get rid of most of these things, klesha karma and vastu karma. So it becomes automatically you have installed your sila, or the precepts, and that stops your immoral actions. And that is what is called the Lokottara means of doing this result.
After understanding of the gratification and the drawback of gratification and cessation of gratification, this is the first step to, as a stream enterer, you can enter into the eightfold path stream. So this is called sotapanna. If you understood the really what is gratification, the gratifications are not in the world. Gratifications are only mental fabrication and never fulfilled. It's called insatiable. Suffering and worthlessness, if you understood that small principle, but it is, you can apply for all the world, from eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body and mind. So these 6 senses, you can use this same principle: gratification, drawback of gratification, and cessation. The main important thing is drawback of the gratification. That's called anicca, dukkha, anatta, the insatiability of this gratification. Why it is insatiable? It is not in the objects, not in this physical world. It's only a mental fabrication. Each people, they are creating by their own gratification world, asada loka, as they want. So if you understand this insatiability, then that's a first step to nibbana path. Then your second step is to cease the vastu karma and klesha karma. Then you can become a, if you cease the vastu karma, you can become a sakadagami. If you cease the klesha karma, you can become a anagami. So then you have to understand what is vastu karma. Is this all the gratifications are insatiable? If you are attached to something to satisfy your body, tongue and nose. The why we these three are important, because those are whatever the material used for this to satisfy these three faculties, those are this material should be directly touch with the body, tongue and nose. Suppose that there are some very soft some object, if you touch in your body, it's very pleasurable. Then if that object is very away from you, you can't feel that pleasurable feeling. Then anyway you go and you have to touch with the body. So if there's some very tasty food, if the food is in kitchen, you are in another place, then you can't taste. Then that food you have to touch with your tongue. If the very good smell, something is there, some perfume or something, then you have to the smelling mean the small teeny particle it should come to and touch with your nose. Then direct material touch should be gained to this karma through these three senses, that means body, tongue and nose. So if you can in that case, from these three faculties, there are some two separate karma. That means you may attach to the pleasure of these three items. Other thing is you may attach to the object of, that means suppose that if some external object is giving you a happiness through touching, that you may love to that object and you may love to the food, because why that food is giving you some pleasure. You may attach to the external smell, food or whatever the giving you a pleasure. So then it is called vastu kama. Vastu kama means you are material. You have bond with the material, external material. What it is giving your happiness. So it is called vastu kama. Then second one is you are not attached to the materialistic world, external materialistic world, but you are very attached to the pleasure only. If you are attached with the pleasure only, it is called klesha karma. Due to these three items, that means three faculties, that means body, tongue and nose. Then if you can seize the vastu karma, then you can become a sakadagami. The second step, then you have to contemplate in the anicca dukkha anatta of all the external materialistic world. There are two parts, external and internal. That means internal means body, tongue and nose. External means whatever the touch and food or something, whatever the tasting foods or something and smelling something. That all the external material we have to detach from your world. Then it's called vastu kama is ceased. That means sakadagami. If you cease the klesha kama, it's called anagami. Then you can attach with the whatever we can hear in and we can vision. We can see something, look. That means from the eye and ear you can attach. Then it's called ruparaga, aruparaga. And you may have attached to the keep on thinking, because a lot of people they want just to think of about anything. So those three are remaining, but if you can seize the vastu kama and klesha kama, you can become a anagami. Then other thing is, if you because this 10 immoral action is the result of this vastu kama and klesha kama. The main core reason is the vastu kama and klesha kama. That's what we have to seize. Then 10 immoral action automatically cease. Then your sila is inbuilt with your sakadagami, anagami. No need to by using the volition, you don't want to do anything. Automatically you have sila is when you have become a sovan sagadama anagami, with this results, your sila is within you. No need to keep on contemplating and keep on thinking of the I'm not going to killing something, and without thinking automatically it is within you.
So we mentioned the word sila, and sila, as you can see, is a major part of the Noble Eightfold Path. And Noble Eightfold Path, we learned right understanding. That's the wisdom to start with, prajna, right understanding. That's samadhi. That's envisioning to distance from greed, hatred, and delusion. Then we learned about samma sankappa, that is the right thought. That's the dissociation from the laminated thoughts. Then comes the sila, which means right speech. That's samma vacha, use of polite words, avoiding hatred and gossip. Then right action, samma kammanta, promoting moral, honorable, and peaceful conduct. Right livelihood, samma ajiva, abstaining from living through professions that brings harm to others. Then we come to samadhi, that is right effort, samma vayama, right mindfulness, samma sati, and right concentration, samma samadhi. And these things refers to getting rid of your mithadicci, and then getting into your asada and all klesha, and then come into lokottara meditation. So even the Noble Eightfold Path, you may be following a lokottara pathway, so that sila will get automatically installed, or you may be following a laukika pathway where you have to be conscious to have these qualities in your life.
If you concern about the Noble Eightfold Path, there are two paths, laukika and lokottara, super mundane and mundane. So as we explained earlier, the laukika path is just avoiding this 10 immoral action, and they are try to live very good manner. But in super mundane ways, totally different. Then after becoming a sotapanna, you know that you are try to always find what the root cause of these things. Suppose someone is have some michcha ajiva, what's the cause of michcha ajiva? Then you are attaching to the vastu kama kesha kama. Without removing the vastu kama kesha kama, you can't live without any harmful things. So harmful things and 10 immoral action is the secondary one. It is there are main root causes, vastu kama and klesha kama. Sakkaya ditthi, vicikiccha, silabhata paramasa, kamaraga patika, ruparaga manuddhacha vidya. This 10 these are the main 10 items that we are attached to the world. This is a main root cause. Without cessation of this vastu kama klesha kama, you can't gain this other sila, samadhi, and other things. So that's why I earlier also explaining. So by contemplating the nature of the anicca dukkha anatta, insatiability of this whole material world and immaterial world, so you have to seize those things by understanding, not by as a rituals. Then in the laukika pathway is by as a ritual you are away from this all the 10 immoral action, but it is not the path to nibbana. It's to can go to the even devaloka and not to the nibbana. That's the main difference.
So just to summarize, lokottara or supramundane means it's the Arya pathway. It's by understanding the root cause, that is raga, dvesha, moha. You contemplate anicca dukkha anatta, And that results in moral actions, and that's more or less permanent. It's automatically installed within you. This achieves nirvana in addition to gaining good returns. Laukika pathway is the mundane pathway. It is by rituals or introducing discipline, the 5, 8, or 10 percepts, or rule, fear, greed-based, stays away from the 10 immoral actions, results in moral actions, but that's temporary because it's not installed within you, gets laukika benefits and good returns as well. This does not lead to nirvana.
This also the very, I think, same what we have explained earlier. But we have to select the permanent solution to our all these cessations of lustful, hateful, delusional thought. So main understanding of this supermundane way is the anicca dukkha anatta, insatiability of this all the gratification. This is the main core teaching of the Buddhism. That's why the supermundane way we can practice. Unless there's a temporarily you can get the return, a good return after death, but it is not a nibbana path. So anyway, we have to this is anicca dukkha anatta is the main key things. That's what we have to understand.
So this is a slide which you have seen earlier on with meditation. So with meditation, you go away slowly, coming out of your karma bhumi, and achieve certain jhana levels, jhana 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you go along, during meditation, you get supramundane thoughts, particularly savitarka, savichara. That's about the thinking about the bliss that you get when you come to prabhasara mind status or nirvana status. Now, this process of feelings and the achievements are constructive, and it unmolds the confidence. It's confidence builder, and it's basically a taster of what we can achieve through this path. So, but it's temporary. As soon as you finish, you come back down to karma bhumi status. Now, Thero already talked about the stream enterer states, where you get rid of initially you listen to Dhamma and understand the Four Noble Truths, which will let you get to first stream enterer level, which is called Sotapanna. But then going beyond that, second stream enterer, third stream enterer, in association with understanding Dhamma, getting rid of Vastu Karma and Klesha Karma leads you to what is the Arhat or enlightened mind. So that leads to the end of suffering. This is a permanent situation where you have unmolding of vision, the attachment, and ego.
In the earlier slide, we explained about the dhyana. That dhyana is a temporary thing. This is the path to nibbana. This is the dhyana is the path to nibbana. The after attaining to the nibbana, that person is becoming a first stream enterer, second stream enterer, third stream enterer, fourth stream enterer, perfect one. This is permanent one. You have to understand that why we are practicing the temporary things to attain this permanent Sotapana, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arhat. So after understanding of the Four Noble Truths, but still we have 5 hindrances with you. So to avoid the 5 hindrances, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Thinamidda, Uddhachakucha, Vichikiccha, if someone is within the 5 hindrances, then you are in the Kama Bhumi. But even after becoming a first stream enterer, Sotapanna, you are in Kama Bhumi. Because you are not going to the hell, but you are in human or other Deva or Brahma. So to avoid these 5 hindrances, we are practicing dhyana. at the fourth dhyana, you don't have any hindrance or no avidya. So then your mind is very brilliant, pure mind, perfect pure mind. When you are going to the pure perfect mind, pure mind, then it is very easy to understand and easy to contemplate in the anicca dukkha anatta and vidassana, vipassana. So that's the easiest method. If you are not go to the dhyana, you are in kama bhumi. Kama bhumi means you are keep on thinking of the some with the 5 hindrance. Then you are not developing the wisdom. So when you go to the 4th dhyana and keep on thinking, contemplating of the anicca dukkha anatta in deep, then you can get rid of the vastu kama, materialistic greed, and klesha kama, that means raga desha moha, greed. So that is the way to get the permanent solution of second stream enterer, third stream enterer, fourth stream enterer. The dhyana is, we are using this dhyana as some tricks to avoid the 5 hindrance. With 5 hindrance, you can't keep on thinking about the nibbana, because already your mind is occupied with the 5 hindrance. To avoid the 5 hindrance temporarily, you are experience the dhyana. Without dhyana, you can't gain the permanent results of second stream and the third stream and the fourth stream and after becoming the sotapanna also, you have to keep on practicing the dhyana, and while you are in dhyana, for dhyana, then you can, your mind is very brilliant, you are pure. With the pure mind, you are very keen to contemplate the anicca dukkha anatta and gratification, how this gratification create, and what's the drawback, what's how to seize these things, and those are very clearly you can keep on thinking. So that's why we are explaining dhyana is the path to nibbana. Sovan sagadama anagame, this called as permanent solution to this samsaric journey. That's a permanent solution. So these two you have to understand separately, and when you are keep on practicing, first of all you have to do the dhyana, and with the dhyana, when you are at the dhyana, then you can keep on thinking the anicca dukkha anatta. This is 2 things. At what place you have to understand what place the dhyana is doing that. First of all, you have to practice a dhyana, and then you can go to the first, second, third, fourth stream enterer. The sequence you have to understand. If you know this sequence, this is called sotapanna. Then you can you don't want any help from this, any teacher or guru or someone. Then you know the to become a perfect one, up to perfect one. How to become a second stream enterer, how to become a third stream enterer, how to become a perfect one. You know all the path, nibbana and nibbana path, you know perfectly. It is called samma ditti, lokottara samma ditti, super mundane right view.
I'm now going to bring, as usual, a little bit of scientific aspects or associations to link some of the teachings that we are learning and the current scientific kind of understanding. Now, if you take your brain, the brain has always electrical waveforms. It's continuously, you can see. Today, say at this time, when you're fully awake in an adult brain, you get electrical waveforms from different leads. So you've got several leads in here. You get different electrical waveforms. Generally, the cycling or the wavelength or the hertz, that means cycles per second, is called alpha. So you generally, when you're awake, you have an alpha rhythm, which is somewhere between 8 to 13 hertz. Hertz means cycles per second. That's alpha. The beta rhythm happens if you had a sedation or something like that, where the frequency goes up a little bit, 13 to 30 hertz. Theta rhythm is slower. It's drowsy, or when you are as a child, you have a kind of slower rhythm, which is 4 to 8 hertz. That is called theta. And then you have very slow waves. This is when you are heavily sedated or unconscious, or over kind of abnormal area of the brain. You see very slow waves. That's 0 to 4 cycles per second, and that's called delta. Now this is always there in your brain. So various forms of electrical activity with certain vibrations or cycles per second. So it is difficult to explore other forms of vibrations, but with special laboratories, you can overcome the interference that is coming from your muscle activity and then learn a little bit more about the brain. And that is called very high frequency waveforms, and that is called gamma band content. Now, this can be measured, and people have started measuring gamma band content as well. This is a paper from Global Advance in Health and Medicine, published in 2014. It talks about life rhythm as a symphony of oscillatory patterns. Oscillatory means vibration. Electromagnetic energy and sound vibration modulates gene expression for biological signaling and healing. So the body works through gene expressions for various things. I mean, so this, if you look at the introduction in this paper, it says all life exists within a sea of vibration, and rhythm is fundamental to all of life. Now, the understanding is that all the cells are vibrating at some level all the time. So if anybody wants these scientific papers, they are available from the Arya Dhamma meditation group in the UK. So the next one, now people using higher gamma band EEG is closely related to emotion. And the evidence from functional network, this is another paper, this is from 2020, very recent paper. And here the high gamma band refers to 30 to 200 cycles per second. So 30 to 200 hertz. And these are high energy vibrations, difficult to pick up and measure and need special labs. That's what I was talking about earlier. Now let's look at these high frequencies. Now it's been studied further. The higher the vibe, the better the function and heal. That is how energy healing works to potentially improve physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and life-related ailments. Now, the emotions changes the vibration of the brain. So it's well beyond the alpha and beta that we talked about, that the frequency can go a lot higher, but they are very low voltage, high frequency. So that's why you can't pick it up in the normal EEG. And say if you are like in a features like apathy, guilt, shame, the frequency is lower, like 20 to 50. If you're in grief, fear, desire, anger, it's slightly higher, but it's still in a lower range. But if you go higher, for example, 500, if you're in love, if you got joy, peace, it's like 500 to 600 cycles. So the frequency increases, your vibe increases with this kind of emotion. And enlightenment is beyond 700 cycles. So you can see that the emotion trend changes the frequency of the electrical cycles in the brain. So this is another feature that's being explored very recently. Now let's go back and see where all this is, because you have the normal frequencies that we spoke to you about, about various rays, and what we see here is this band is between 400 and 700 nanometers wavelength is what we see as colors. Now, what is important is to find the waveform. These shorter wavelengths have higher frequencies. longer wavelengths have shorter frequencies, smaller frequencies. So the frequency of visible light is about 7.5, 10 to the power 14 cycles, very high frequency. The red light is 4.3, 10 to the power 14 cycles per second. So most normal people see this visible spectrum, but there may be few who may be seeing this spectrum on this end in their normal eyes, or that spectrum on their eyes as well. So EEG frequencies are somewhere like 4 to 30. That's what we just showed you. So emotional vibe is somewhere between this one here is 20 to 700 cycles. So it's not higher than the EEG, emotional vibe. Now the aura is related to emotional vibe. We know enlightenment and so on changes the aura. So the aura vibration should be somewhere around here. We don't have a direct link yet shown scientifically here, but this is just conceptual. So if aura is here, how come we see it through the aura machine? That needs an explanation. That's because the transducer is something that transfers or changes one form of energy to another form of energy. So the vibe that is picked up by the aura machine changes it to this color range. So that's how you see the different colors in aura machine here. So that's a concept that needs understanding. So as we go along, we'll probably know better. So this now we are entering the Q&A sessions, and it's open for the Q&A. And then at the end of the Q&A, I'll explain the rest of the session.
There are no questions from the live people at the moment, and nothing live in YouTube as well. But there are some questions on the WhatsApp groups. Shall I ask them?
Yes, yes, please go through the questions.
Someone is asking, is Chittanupassana related to Chitta Prasada?
Is Chittanupassana
Related to Chitta Prasada?
Chitta Prasada?
Yes. I think it's like the Prasada Chitta.
The Chittanupassana mean in day-to-day life, we are faced to the different type of problems in our life. So in this type of time, we have to wait and analyze what we happen. Suppose that one guy comes and shout to you. Then you have to, how do you practice the Chittanupassana? When someone is shouting to you, you have to wait and see what happened to your mind, because you are doing the Chittanupassana. Then you can, when someone is shouting, your mind is become some hateful. So then you know that, oh my goodness, when someone is shouting, that means when someone is shouting, what he is doing? He is making some voice and toward you. But you get all these words and interpret, and you hatefully attach with this, whatever the words he is talking. So then you have to understand this, whatever the word he is shouting to you, whatever the word, that word it doesn't have any hateful things. It's just an frequency only. But just an frequency only, but you interpret and he blame or shout into you, and then you hatefully attach with this whatever the sound. So sound, it doesn't have any unpleasant or pleasant or feelings. That's just an only sound, only vibration. So likewise, if you attach with hatefully, but someone is shouting to you, you are attaching with this word, then you are burning. Then it is not effect to the person who are shouting to you, but that burning will burn your whole body. Then it is effect to only to you, but who is hatefully attached you, and your whole body will burn. So by just waiting, and you have to keep on thinking of the insatiability. Suppose that if you are attached with hatefully with this whatever the word he is shouting, so is that attachment fulfill your requirement? What is your requirement? All the beings in the universe is required to be happy. But when you are attaching with the hatefully, are you happy or you are burning? You are burning. So then by just mindfully, you have to detach with this whole the hateful thought. This is the practice. This is called bhavana pahatabba. The Satra Satipatthana is a bhavana pahatabba. In the day-to-day life, this is not a dhyana, because dhyana stage is at the end. But before you go to the dhyana, in day-to-day life, you have to very gross type of klesha. You have to get rid of the very, very rough one, not a very fine things. So this type of things are we have to cease with the Satra Satipatthana. From the Satra Satipatthana, one is Chittanupassana. When this Chittanupassana is practicing, that means you are mindfulness. You are from you. All these hateful attachments are created within your mind. Then you are consciously, with the mindfully, you are detaching from this all the hateful attachment. Then your mind will become a day to day, day by day, your mind become a very calm and cool and very nibbana. Nibbana means you are detaching from the world. Then it is a very pleasurable state. So this is called Chittanupassana. So you can't stop the shouting of the people. Either you are good or bad, people are shouting to you, but you have some chance to not to react. But all the outside people's are reactions, you can't stop, but you can stop your reaction toward this shouting or whatever the things happening in the world. But if you can accept these things without reacting, the reaction is the problem, not the happening in the world. So if you keep on contemplating the anicca dukkha anatta, and if you can cease this hateful thought, first of all you have to cease the hateful thought. Why is that? Hateful thought create the lot of negative energy. If you see this very earlier we explained about the emotional frequency chart. All the bottom part, low frequencies are these called very biggest negative thought. The lowest frequency means negative thought. So these are the this is called mahasava. That means it's the biggest one. It's a hateful, shame, guilty, fear, anger, and those negative thoughts are, we have to stop these things by thinking of the insatiability. So this is a main key point. From our first sermon, I explained your own mind, your own body is not the way you want, not the way you like, not the way you wish. So then how can you control your all this world? It is not under this. Whatever the things happen in the world, you can't control. You can control your mind without attaching to the world. Then you can peacefully calm in your mind. This is called Chittanupassana.
So he is also trying to relate it to Chitta Pasada. Chitta Pasada is totally a different thing to the Chittanupassana. So would you like to say anything about Chitta Pasada as well?
So what the meaning of Chitta Pasada? I can understand what the meaning of Chitta Pasada means. So when you are keep on practicing this Chittanupassana, your Chitta will become Prasada. Prasada means this become a happy mode. Is that the question he's asking? Chitta Prasada means?
I might, he doesn't have a bigger description. So I think since you explained about the Chittanupassana, that's his main part, I think we will move on to the next question. And someone is asking another question. Don't we get jhana when we walk the path and not the other way around? Does everyone get jhana?
No, everyone can't get jhana. There are 4 type of people in the world. First one is can get only dhyana. One type is there, they can take only dhyana. Another type is there only dhyana samapatti. These are different things. Dhyana samapatti. Third type of people are there, dhyana and samapatti both together. Other fourth type of people are there. They don't have any dhyana or samapatti. But they can become a sotapanna, but to become a sakadagami, anagami, they don't have gained any dhyana or samapatti. There are in the Tripitaka there are some Samyukta Nikaya 3 books. There are some sutras called. These 4 type of people are there. Some they don't have dhyana. Not for everyone, but no one don't know who can practice dhyana and not practice dhyana. We have to keep on practice, and after doing the 3, 4, 5 retreat, only you can decide either you can do or not. But without doing, you can. No one is there. Even if the Lord Buddha is there, he can explain. You can't gain any dhyana, but we can't explain that kind of wisdom. We don't have. But what we have, what we can do is we can practice these things and see whether it is okay or not.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question. Someone is asking, what is the correct or the right way to practice real anapanasati or satipatthana meditation from basic to top?
No, you can ask one by one, I think.
What is the correct or right way to practice real anapanasati or satipatthana meditation from basic to top?
Yeah. If someone is practicing the Satipatthana Bhavana, then he is doing the Anapanasati. These both are not a different thing, but same thing with different word. If you explain as a Lokottara Anapanasati or Lokottara Satipatthana, both are same. The same thing with different word. But when you keep on practicing this Anapanasati or Satipatthana, but nowadays what people are doing, they are observing the air, inhale and exhale air. But that is a wrong interpretation of the Anapanasati. There are some sutras are called Asasa Sutra, Asasa and Paramasasa Sutra. In Asasa Sutra, Sariputta Thero is explaining if someone is doing the Asasa, what is Asasa? If someone knows the if someone have the real understanding of the 6 faculties, Samudaya, Attangama, Asada, Adino, Nissarana. That means all these 6 faculties, Samudaya mean arising, Attangama mean at the end, and Asada mean gratification, Adina mean drawback, Nissarana mean cessation of all these 6 faculties. If you know this, understand, if you properly understand this Asada, Adina, Nissarana, then you are Asasa, Pasasa, you know the Asasa, Pasasa. Then there are 2 types of Asasa, Pasasa. If you go to the Aritta Sutta in Samyukta Nika, Aritta Thero, Lord Buddha is asking from Aritta Thero, are you practicing the Anapanasati? Then Aritta Thero told, yes, I am practicing the Anapanasati. Then how do you practice the Anapanasati? Then Aritta Thero explaining, with mindfully I am breathe in, and mindfully I am breathe out. Then Lord Buddha is telling, Aritta, there are such a Anapanasati there. Other group of people, they are practicing this kind of Anapanasati. But in super mundane way, in my way, that Lord Buddha said, in my way, there are another Anapanasati. There are 2 Anapanasati. What we have to understand from the Aritta Sutta. Then there are some Laukika, mundane Anapanasati, super mundane Anapanasati. With the mundane Anapanasati, you can gain the first, second, third, fourth dhyana. This is called Laukika mundane dhyana, not the super mundane dhyana. There are 2 types of dhyana, mundane dhyana and super mundane dhyana. With the concentration of to the nose or mouth, with the inhale and exhale, you can create some samadhi. But that's not the super mundane way of go to the Nibbana. Then day-to-day life, there are 2 parts. You have to understand there are 2 parts. First part is you have some very gross type of klesha. That when the day-to-day life, if you are faced to the some lustful, hateful, delusional something, some action or something, then you have to get rid of these things by contemplating the anicca dukkha anatta, the day-to-day life. Suppose that, as I explained earlier, if someone is shouting, when you are walking the road, you may see very beautiful car or house or some lady or some guy or something may be very beautiful and very attractive something. Then you have to keep on thinking, it may be some attractive something, or the other thing is very rejective something. So then if you can seize the hateful first, then lustful thought, then that is called Anapanasati. Then this is a very gross part of the Anapanasati. Then after practicing of 3, 4, 6 months, it may be normally around 1 year maybe, after practicing of this anicca dukkha anatta in day-to-day life, for each and every event what you face in normal life, first of all you have to stop the hateful thought and then lustful thought. Then at the end of the 6 or 9, maybe 6 months, 9 months or 1 year, your mind will become very less amount of hateful, delusional and delusional thought. So then your mind is very calm. This is called Satara Satipatthana. This is the fundamental of the Anapanasati. And then at the end, then you can get sit down, and then you can do the Karmasthana. This is what we are practicing in this session. At the end, we are practicing the Karmasthana by chanting the Karmasthana. The word Karmasthana means whatever the things we understood at the Dhamma sermon as a Four Noble Truth, you have to keep on chanting the same thing. You have to contemplate in the Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta and Four Noble Truth and Eightfold Path. Then when you are keep on practicing this from your as a chanting, this is called Savitaka Savitara. Then with the time, it may be around 1 or 2 hours, when you keep on chanting the Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, Four Noble Truth and this Karmasthana, then your mind will go to the first dhyana, second dhyana, fourth dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana. When you go to the second, fourth dhyana, then your fine part of your kleshas are go away. So all the kleshas you can divide into 3 categories. Whatever the things you are doing by body and other things from verbal kleshas, other thing is from thought, body, word and thought. Then in gross part, as a Satrasatipatthana, you have to body and word, you have to cease the whatever the negative thoughts, we have to cease this all the from the body and word. At the end, you have to go to the dhyana and purify your mind. First purify your body. Body means your bodily action. If you are doing the bodily wrong things, then you have to stop. Then you have to stop the word. Then you have to stop the mind. The mind means not a total mind. If you keep on thinking anything lustfully, hateful, delusionally, you have to cease these things. As a tricks, what we are using, the mind is always it is always working. So you can't stop that one. What you can do, you can turn the direction of the volition or your mental fabrication. The direction of the mental fabrication you can change. Normally you are keep on thinking lustful, hateful, delusionally. Now you are doing absence of lust, absence of hate, absence of delusion. That means toward the Nibbana. That is called Karmasthana. Then all the Karmasthana, there may be lot of Karmasthana, but meaning is same. What's this same meaning? All the worldly things are Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Nibbana is Nicca, Sukha, Atta. Nibbana is satiable, not suffering, valuable things. Nibbana is good, world is not good. This is the main theme of this all the Karmasthana. There may be different type of words, different type of phrases maybe, but if you take the whole meaning of these things is all these lustful, hateful delusions are not good. Absence of lustful, hateful delusions good. That's called Nibbana is good, world is bad. So this is what we are keep on chanting. So whatever the either Pali or Sinhala or whatever the Karmasthana we are chanting, if someone after understanding of this insatiability of this gratification, then what we are chanting, all the gratifications are insatiable. So get rid of this, all the gratifications are called Nibbana. It's a good thing. It's a peace of mind. So that's what we have to understand as a Karmasthana. So then your body will purify. Body means the bodily action will purify. All the words are purified. Your mind is purified at the 4th dhyana. Then you are purified. At the 4th dhyana, brilliant mind, no any avidya. Then you are prabhasara chitta. Prabhasara means brilliant mind, no any dirty in your mind. This is called Anapanasati. There are 2 types of Anapanasati. One is looking at your mouth to nose about inhale or exhale. That's a Laukika. Lokottara way is you are purifying your bodily action, word and mind by contemplate the Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. About keep on thinking about the gratification. So always we are try to gain some gratification from this world. So after understanding of the insatiability of this gratification, only you can do this lokottara and super mundane way of lokottara anapanasati. There are two anapanasati. That's what we have to understand, and laukika and lokottara.
I will move to the next question. What is the correct or right way to practice real Arya Metta meditation from basic to top?
Oh, real Arya Metta meditation mean that also there are two Metta meditation. Normally what we are doing, all the beings in the world, niduketta, no, with no suffering, nirogi vetta, with no ill, no any suffering, that mean no any ills and whatever the sick, without sick, niduketta, nirogi vetta, sopat vetta, mean pleasurable thing, nirogi vetta, sopat vetta. This is what we traditionally we are doing as a metta meditation. In one day, in Mahagandiya Sutra, one Mahagandiya come to meet Lord Buddha and explain some praise. That praise is called Arogya Paramalabha Santuti Paramandanang Attangi Gocha Magocha Kemang Amatagavananti. Then Lord Buddha asking from this Mahagandiya, what is the niroga? That means no any suffering, no any disease, or no any disease, or no any sufferings. So then Mahagandiya show his hand, and Lord Buddha, this is my niroga. Niroga means no any ill, no any sufferings. Your body is the main thing that cause the not suffering. So Lord Buddha explained some Dhamma, Mahagandiya, you don't understand the real Buddhism. After understanding of the real Buddhism, you can understand that the roga means the disease is not the body disease. Disease is different from the worldly explanation. There are different meaning for that one. The roga and disease is the five grasping aggregate is the disease, not a body disease. So then Lord Buddha asked from the Mahagandiya to go and get the Lokottara Samma Ditti. Then only you can understand what's the real disease from this world. So likewise, nowadays also all the peoples are explaining and practicing the mundane type of metta meditation. The super mundane way of the metta meditation is niduk. The same word we are using, but the meaning is different. Niduk mean if these all the beings in the world can be become a first stream enterer. When we are keeping some, we are helping to attain the first stream enter. We are teaching the Dhamma and giving this all the Dhamma discussion and helping them to become a stream enterer. And second is become a Sotapanna, Sakadagami, second stream enterer. Nidukketa and Roketa Sopatvita mean become a Anagami, that means third stream enterer. And Dukketa and Roketa Sopatva, Dukin Midita mean last phase is become a Arahat. Then that is the way to gain Nibbana. So there are no any other. First stream enterer, second stream enterer, third stream enterer, fourth stream enterer. If we are keep on contemplating, keep on thinking, this whole world being, all the beings become this first stream enterer, second stream enterer, third stream enterer, fourth stream enterer. This is called Lokottara Metta meditation. There are super mundane and mundane, there are two type of metta meditation. The mundane type metta meditation, all you know. Super mundane mean you are keep on thinking of all the beings in the world become a first instrumenta, second instrumenta, third instrumenta, fourth instrumenta. It is called super mundane way of metta meditation. So that's what you have to understand. If you refer the Mahagandiya Sutra, then you can understand. Then either you and your whole world become Nibbana, attain to Nibbana. So this is the main name of this Lokotara super mundane metta meditation. This is the main name. Are there any questions?
Someone has raised hands.
Gina is
Tina,
raising her hand, so I'm going to let her ask the question.
Yes. Avasarai Swami Mahansa. My question is on the on the English translation. There was a presentation, there was a slide on the explanation of mind and vibrations, and there was a funnel-like graph, and on that, at the top, there was enlightenment, which had 700 plus megahertz or hertz frequency, and then right below that, it was love, and which had 600 plus megahertz or whatever unit. Does that love refer to desire, or is it loving kindness?
Loving kindness. There are few loves are the love that mean unconditional love also there. Unconditional love, because if you go to the last hate and delusion, what's the biggest one? Delusion is the biggest one. It's in Tripitaka. I have explained in Sinhala media one. Hate is more cravings, more pleasure. The last is alpasava, that means very less. So when you keep on practicing the dhyana, first of all you have to get rid of the delusional thought by listening to Dhamma. Then you have to practice to cease the hateful thought. Then after delusional and hateful thought, then you are at the lustful state. That means that is just below the dhyana level. When you are practicing the first dhyana, you are ceasing the lust. I think we have explained that in my Tripitaka reference society I have given. When you go to the first dhyana, you are just ceasing the lustful thought. Raga, at the first dhyana, there are no lust. But when you from fourth dhyana, no delusion at all, no avidya. Then from top fourth dhyana, third dhyana, second dhyana, first dhyana, from first dhyana, immediately below is lust. Then hate is more below than that one. So there are some sequence. When you are ceasing of these all the kleshas, we have to, by gradually you have to cease. So that graph and the scientific graph, there's an emotional frequency chart. That chart and Buddhism version of the explanation are both the same. Yeah.
There's another question from Janit. Janit, please unmute yourself and ask the question.
Venerable Sir, I have a small question regarding the jhana. When you are talking about jhana, like to attain the second, third, and fourth Magaphala, you said one needs to attain. One needs to attain jhana, but at the same time, it is like it's conditional. Jhana is conditional on your, like, the merits you would have done in the past. So if you are not attaining jhana, does that mean that you cannot attain the third, second, and fourth magaphala?
No, you have to refer the Tripitaka Patisambhida Maggapakarana to Magga Jnana. If you can note it down, Patisambhida Maggapakarana to Magga Jnana. If you go to if you refer this Tripitaka, after fulfilling of the eightfold path only, you can go to Sovan, Sagadagami, Anagami, Arhat. This may be that dhyana can take in two ways. One is in front of some Arya, suppose that Sariputta Thero attained to fourth stream, that means become Arhat in front of the Lord Buddha. Without, when Lord Buddha is explaining the Dhamma, he become, by just listening, he become Arhat. But Moggallana Thero, he did the dhyana and took the fourth stream enter. It's a fourth type. But anyway, when Lord Buddha is explaining, Sariputta Thero listen. At the same time, Diganaka was there. Diganaka become a Sotapanna, Sariputta Thero become a Arahat with the same discussion. So what is happening at such a place when Lord Buddha is explaining the Dhamma, the all go to the dhyana automatically, but that is not the practice dhyana, because by help of the Dhamma friend, Kalyana Mitra, you can gain the dhyana. Because there are some devotees friends are explaining, while they are listening to the Dhamma also, they are feeling happiness and pleasure. Then they have, while listening the Dhamma, you can go to the dhyana. That's a one way. Other thing is, you can use the karmasthana and gain the dhyana. Anyway, without dhyana, if you don't have dhyana, that means you are in the kama bhumi. Then you have 5 hindrances, kama, chanda, vyapada, tidamita, dujjata, vichikiccha. These 5 hindrances are there. With the 5 hindrances, you can't do any analytical mind. You don't have any analytical mind, vidarsana. You can't do the vipassana. To do the vipassana, you should cease these 5 hindrances. The ceasing of 5 hindrances means you have automatically go to the dhyana. At a particular time, your mind should be either at 5 hindrances or dhyana in one particular time. Do you understand?
Yeah, it's clear, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Without dhyana, you can gain any stream enter.
I mean, at least temporarily, we should be able to attain the samatha state.
Yeah, samadhi state, that's called. The samatha also in Buddhism, that mean in supramundane way, samatha mean there are 2 samatha. In supramundane way, to samatha, you have to understand the gratification of cessation of gratification. It is in the Tripitaka.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
So I will move to the next question.
Okay, thank you. I think we have now can progress to the next session. So the next session is going to be the Karmasthana session, and it will be what we discussed and in a different format. So for this session, you are expected to be seated comfortably or any other position. Closing the eyes may help you focus. A slide with the written meaning of the Karmasthana will concurrently appear when Abhaya Thero is chanting. And each Karmasthana is followed by 3 minutes silence, and focusing on the Karmasthana you chanted during this time is what is expected. So next we are going to go for the Karmasthana session, and we'll be taking 5 minutes break, and then you can acquire a comfortable position so that we can commence Karmasthana.
ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විඤ්ඤාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරති සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානම් බුද්ධෝ භගවාති ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විඤ්ඤාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරති සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානම් බුද්ධෝ භගවාති ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විඤ්ඤාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරති සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානම් බුද්ධෝ භගවාති සන්තං ඒතං පනිතං යදිදං සබ්බ සංකාර සමතෝ සබ්බූපතිපටි නිස්සග්ගෝ තන්නක්කයෝ විරාගෝ නිරෝධෝ නිබ්බානන්ති ඒතං සන්තං ඒතං පනිතං යදිදං සබ්බ සංකාර සමතෝ සබ්බූපදීපටි නිස්සග්ගෝ තන්නක්කයෝ විරාගෝ නිරෝධෝ නිබ්බානන්ති ඒතං සන්තං ඒතං පනිතං යදිදං සබ්බ සංකාර සමතෝ සබ්බූපදීපටි නිස්සග්ගෝ තන්නක්කයෝ විරාගෝ නිරෝධෝ නිබ්බානන්ති අහං අවීරෝ හෝමි අභ්‍යාපජ්ජෝ හෝමි අනීගෝ හෝමි සුඛී අත්තානම් පරිහරාමි සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා අහං අවීරෝ හෝමි අභ්‍යාපජ්ජෝ හෝමි අනීගෝ හෝමි සුඛී අත්තානම් පරිහරාමි සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා අහං අවීරෝ හෝමි අභ්‍යාපජ්ජෝ හෝමි අනීගෝ හෝමි සුඛී අත්තානම් පරිහරාමි සබ්බේ සත්තා භවන්තු සුඛිතත්තා අනිච්චාවත සංකාරා උප්පාද වය ධම්මිනෝ uppajjitta niruddhanti te සංවූප සමෝසුකෝ අනිච්චාවත සංකාරා උප්පාද වය ධම්මිනෝ uppajjitta niruddhanti te සංවූප සමෝසුකෝ අනිච්චාවත සංකාරා උප්පාද වය ධම්මිනෝ uppajjitta niruddhanti te සංවූප සමෝසුකෝ Sabbe sankara anicchati යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මංගෝ විසුද්ධියා සම්බේ සංඛාරා දුක්ඛාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ ධම්මා අනාත්තාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ සංඛාරා අනිච්චාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ සංඛාරා දුක්ඛාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සම්බේ ධම්මා අනාත්තාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ සංඛාරා අනිච්චාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ සංඛාරා දුක්ඛාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා සබ්බේ ධම්මා අනාත්තාති යදා පඤ්ඤාය පස්සති අත නිබ්බින්දති දුක්ඛේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුද්ධියා Jayo munindassa subodhi mule aho simarasa parajayohi. Uggosayum deva gana pasanna etena saccena jayassu tuyam. Jayo munindassa subodhi mule aho simarasa parajayohi. Uggosayum deva gana pasanna etena saccena jayassu tuyam. Jayo munindassa subodhi mule aho simarasa parajayohi. Uggosayum deva gana pasanna etena saccena jayassu tuyam. Sambha papasa akaranang කුසලස්ස උපසම්පදා සචිත්ත පරියෝදපනං ඊතං බුද්ධාන ශාසනං සබ්බ පාපස්ස අකරණං කුසලස්ස උපසම්පදා සචිත්ත පරියෝදපනං ඊතම් බුද්ධාන ශාසනං සබ්බ පාපස්ස අකරණං කුසලස්ස උපසම්පදා සචිත්ත පරියෝදපනං ඊතං බුද්ධාන ශාසනං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං බුද්ධෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං ධම්මෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං නිබ්බානං පරමං සුඛං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං බුද්ධෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං ධම්මෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං නිබ්බානං පරමං සුඛං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං බුද්ධෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං ධම්මෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං නත්ති මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං නිබ්බානං පරමං සුඛං